They say they found the bones of Andres Bonifacio in 1918. But what if they weren't really his? To understand the bones, we need to return to the moment Bonifacio lost everything. It was the scorching afternoon of March 22, 1897. Bonifacio stood inside the Casa Hacienda de Tejeros. He arrived to be a mediator between the clashing factions of Magdalo and Magdiwang, not to fight an election. But he walked into a trap. Witnesses later claimed the ballots were a sham. Reports of papers handed out already filled with Aguinaldo's name, of dozens of votes bearing the exact same handwriting, as if one hand had chosen for the many. When the results were announced, a man named Daniel Tirona stood up. He shouted that Bonifacio was uneducated, unfit. Insulted and enraged, Bonifacio drew his pistol. He declared the election null and void and stormed out. But while he thought he had cancelled the vote, the Magdalo faction decided he had just declared war. Emilio Aguinaldo became president, and he wasn't even present in the election. 1 month later, Bonifacio was captured at Limbon. Not by Spaniards, but by fellow Filipinos. He was placed on trial and was charged with treason against his own cause. The verdict was decided quickly. On May 10, 1897, Major Lazaro Macapagal marched the brothers into the woods of Mount Nagpatong. He opened a sealed letter, and before the Spaniards could even reclaim Cavite, Aguinaldo ordered the execution of Bonifacio and his brother. 20 years later, in 1918, an expedition led by Guillermo Masancay went back to those mountains. They brought the executioner, Macapagal, to point out the grave. They dug up a skeleton. Officials claimed, "We have found him." The bones were transferred to Manila, analyzed by Dr. Sixto de Los Angeles, stored in the National Museum. But here's the problem. The skeleton's measurements didn't match Bonifacio's build. There was no DNA testing yet. Only the word of the men who buried him. And the final twist? In 1945, during the Battle of Manila, Japanese and American shells leveled the government buildings. The bones vanished in the rubble, burned, crushed, or stolen. So today, we honor a hero whose ideas shaped a nation, but whose body was never truly accounted for. Maybe the missing bones aren't an accident. Maybe they are the final symbol of a revolution that went against its own children. Because the greatest betrayal in Philippine history wasn't just how Bonifacio fell. It's how he was never allowed to rest. This is Hidden History PH, uncovering the truths buried by time.